All right, it's not stairs, but it's a ramp. So I'm still out of breath. We're at the Floodwall in Richmond. This is going to be stop one, hopefully, of multiple stops, but the toddler determines it. And my wife has lent me her birthday present, which means I'm going to be testing this out today. And this test is going to be a mark of the art wheel on the front, specifically, is what I'm interested in. She mostly is going to use this to be shooting JPEG. And I thought I'd try it out. Try a little small prime. No raw shots today. We'll see what we get. Let's take a look at this. So first quick little things I've noticed about this. I love the shutter sound. It is probably purposely reminiscent of an analog camera. I love the way the camera feels. It fits my hand very good. I agree with my wife. I don't think I or she will need an extra grip. I do believe it is made for little primes. I think if you had a big lens on this, it may start to get a little bit awkward holding it. The art wheel is interesting. Being able to see through the EVF your composure with the mono or color, again, something I like. I don't think I probably will use it as much as she will. I'll probably stick with raw because photo editing portion is something I enjoy. But if you don't bring a computer with you, you just want some quick snaps to get on social, definitely see the benefit of it. We're about to walk along the flood wall here. We're going to go down a ways and then come back. There's a few other viewpoints of the city I want to get. Mostly looking at skyline shots. I've got the 45 f1.8 with me, and I thought it might be a little bit too close, but from this side of the city, it works. See you guys in a bit. Well, we are now at the Hollywood Cemetery, which is home to 2 U.S. presidents and 1 trader president, and a few other notable people. The OM-3 has been taken from me, but I'm sure she'll let me borrow it now and then, and we'll see what shots we can find here. I will tell you that I'm continually shocked by the lightness of the camera. It is the #1 feature that is really making me think that my wife will have to let me borrow it more often. I bought the OM-1 Mark II specifically because of the lightness. Not the body per se, but the lenses. And the only reason I wouldn't switch to the OM-3 is that one memory card situation. But other than that, I think if you were looking for something specifically to carry for lightness, but have the capabilities of a high-end camera like the OM-1 Mark II, the OM-3, you couldn't go wrong. Well, I was allowed to have the OM-3 again, so here we go. My wife just got some great shots of our son playing around in a fountain, which he's calling a waterfall. But I'm on the way to the trader's grave to get some pictures there. And I think I might pass Monroe's grave. And then there's some shots of the skyline, which is the real reason I came here. We'll see if we make it to him or not. This place is got great shots everywhere, landscapes, abstracts. It's a lot of fun, so you might see me here in the future. All right, I'll talk to you when I get there. made it to the trader. It's all uphill. So I'm going to catch my breath and take some photos, and we'll have a talk. It is absolutely bonkers to me that this is a monument here. And you don't have to search much about the man to realize why it shouldn't be. You should also not be, I guess, surprised that this has been recently updated since 2008 by the, quote, Sons of the Confederacy. This stuff is just, well, I think at this point you know my opinion on it. Let's talk about the camera. Amazing. I love everything about it. It's nice that I can put it in the creative modes. I get that JPEG, but I also get a RAW. And I'll show you my RAW edits with some of these as well. That if I want to take the time to edit, which I do because I enjoy that, I can. Now, my wife is someone who would rather just take the photo, get it out of the camera, upload it to social medias, or admire it another way. She doesn't want to do the edit. And that's really who this camera is targeting, I think. This is your Fuji X100VI or whatever has come out recently. And it certainly puts the X half frame to shame. You have grain simulations, anything you want to do for faking that film look outside of a film camera. I am extremely happy with my purchase. Do I think it's overpriced? Yes. I think it's overpriced because of the price of the OM-1 Mark II. Outside of the creative dial and a couple of other things, you have the same sensor, you have the same features, computational features. If the OM-1 Mark II was more expensive, it would justify the cost of this, but it's not. It's the same price. I think if this camera lived somewhere between the $1,500 and $1,700 range, OM would have had a massive hit on their hand, and I'm sad to see that it's not selling well in Japan because I want OM systems to succeed, and I just think they priced themselves out of their customers with this. But anyway, I digress. Let's go find some more pleasant to sit. Let's talk. It's about a week later since you last saw me, and I've put around 1,000 more images through this. And everything I said in that video stands. I have not changed my opinion on this camera. If anything, my opinion has grown significantly. This camera has convinced me that I need to get the 17mm Mark II, the weather sealed version, because I think this is a one and done camera, meaning one lens, one camera, do anything. And that focal length, I think, best suits that. Weather sealed version of all those popular TikTok cameras you're seeing, basically. You've got a control dial that you can make your own, essentially, LUTs with. I have to play with that more, but this is also my wife's, so I'm trying to let her use it. I'm not going to show you too many more images. It's the same sensor as what is out of my OM-1, so the quality is there. I will show you some video I took with it. I only took the 8-bit because I think that's who this is for. This is not for someone that is going to color grade and going to edit that you have to with the 10-bit. But having that option is nice. Now, the 8-bit is notoriously soft out of OM. It's an issue that they've had for a while. I can't wait till we get that firmware update. But I think it's serviceable for most people's needs. You can kind of be the judge of that. My wife also took a slow-mo of video of our son with this, the S&Q wheel here, which is slow and quick. I'll include that. Who should be getting this camera at $19.99, which is the current USD price, which is the same price as an OM-1 Mark II body? People like me who are crazy, maybe. No, I paid less than that. I got this through Japan, which I suggest you do that, though the tariff situation, who knows. I think this camera lives around the $1,500 to $1,700 price point very comfortably. I think in that price point, for small, weather sealed, and all the capabilities of this, it's hard to beat. People are going to say I'm crazy, but such as the Fuji 106, X106, excuse me. Let's compare these two. One, you're usually paying just about the same, if not more, because you can't get them. I've seen them going as high as $2,500. It's got better megapixel count, but if you're posting this on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, things like that, no one is going to be able to tell the difference between a 20 megapixel image and a 100 megapixel image. The only thing that would really benefit you in that situation is if you're going to crop heavily. We got a fixed lens on the Fuji. This is interchangeable. The video capabilities and the different LUTs or recipes that are inside the cameras, I think, are pretty comparable. The image stabilization in this is amazing, which would make up for that 8-bit issue. Plus, you've got the 10-bit, which, if you're going to color grade, is there. I think the image stabilization in this, hands down, beats almost anything out there. The OM-1 Mark II is a little bit better. I think this has half or one less stop. I didn't notice it. This is weather sealed without a filter on it. If you don't get a filter and put it on the Fuji, it is not weather sealed, and also does not have an IP rating. So what does that weather sealing mean? This gives you an IP rating, gives you lenses with IP ratings. I don't know. I'm also an OM fanboy, so you can take that with a grain of salt. I do love Fuji, though, and if their autofocus was a little bit better, if it had an interchangeable lens, if some of the build quality issues were resolved, I would own one in a heartbeat. And I almost did get an X-T5 instead of my own 1 Mark II. It was that close. But I got to give this back to the wife. I love it. I'll try to steal it as often as I can. You'll probably see some more updates on the channel. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.